First, the little Lexmoto Diablo bike for the young lady is coming back because its indicator switch isn't working. She's bought a new switch gear. Hopefully it is the exact one. I don't want to mess with wiring. Secondly, I want to do something here today because I'm still contemplating what to do with this thing. I really dislike it. I really can't be arsed with it. Front tyre's not beaded or seated. What a pain in the arse. Rear wheel has nothing, no sprocket, no chain, nothing. No innings for the brake, nothing. It's a mess. It's a mess. But I want to throw some fuel in it today, so I'm going to hotwire it because this ignition system is integrated, so it's not worth changing basically. But if I could get this running and we just started it slowly over the weeks, we could buy bits and pieces. At the moment there is no rear wheel anywhere, so that's not manageable. But if we can get it started and running, that's step one, right? We know we can get these cheap Chinese tanks, black ones, on the internet for 80 quid or something, and from there we can swing. I might just need to put air in there, we don't know yet. It might just be that, and then a change should be easy enough. But a rear wheel I am struggling with. I have been looking, but let's do step one. Let me go and get some fuel. I've got a can over there, and let's kick it over. If it doesn't start at all, I've got a battery as well. If it doesn't start at all, let's give a quick carb clean. Let's just see if that engine runs. That's step one. I mean, it's a fairly newish bike. 62 is 2012, so it's 10 years old. It looks alright. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and get some fuel. So I've got a brand new battery down there. First things first, have I barreled this thing correctly? So I didn't need to hotwire it really because it's barreled. At some point I barreled it. Not going to teach you guys how to do that. I'll tell you what it means, but it's a thing. And does it power up? There's a battery down there. Can I get it to power up? Let me connect this battery up. Let me see if even I can get the side panel off. If I can, let's see if it powers up. If it powers up and beeps or anything, then we're one step in the right direction. So let me show you that we've got a battery. So if I turn the ignition now, we should have some form of power. Maybe a horn or something. Ah, we do. It says it's in first gear. Ah, chain. Neutral. Horn. Indicators are working. Ignition's on. Front lights on. High and lows working. Rear's on. Stuck on brake light. I don't know if that's the rear or the front. Probably down there. Easy fix. Actually, at the moment, all ignition is working, and there's oil in there. I've checked that. So this tank's been empty for ages. So there's a chance that the carbs are empty as well. Let me chuck on my fuel can. This thing could fire up in minutes. I mean, I'd be surprised, but it could. It's going to squeal a little bit. It's not gonna. That's not a tight seal for that. There'll be some spillage, but all I want to do is fill up the car. That's choke on. There's a fair amount of spillage there, so I'm not going to wait too long. Choke's on. Let's see if this thing fires up. Take off the choke, it might be warm already from the sun. Okay. So, I mean, it's not happy, but kind of expected, really. Switch that fuel off because we're dripping a lot. That sounded fine to me. It sounded like an engine that was gonna run. I think here it wouldn't hurt now to give it a quick spray through. Let's pop that carb off. I think it comes out this side easily. Possibly. And quick spray through. Let's have a look at the carb. Let's pop it off. So I went to drain the carb and there was nothing in it. So that old pipe's so big it may not have been spilling in the pipe. It may not have been spilling in the carb. It may have been going around it. So this pipe is fitted, so this should be filling up the carb. I'm actually going to release the pressure and see if any comes out. So are we now filling up, basically? Okay. So now there's definitely fuel in there. That's good. I think we'll get an idle here. I think we'll get an idle. Let's see. I'm going to let that idle for a good 5 minutes. I want the oil to circulate. I want everything to loosen up. So far, that sounds good. got a few more minutes. I'm going to cut the camera because there's no point you watching. I think the exhausts will come off. I think I can clean them. I've been spraying them with penetrating fluid for the last few weeks, so I do think they'll come off now. And that's good. It means we can clean them up. I was worried about how rusty they are, but they're not actually that bad. I'm going to try and take the seat off and the tank, because ultimately it will be a new tank coming eventually. I also need to move the ignition. I'm just looking at the rear brake light. It's just badly adjusted. It actually works. I've turned the fuel off now. Engine sounds great. It needs nothing. Obviously new oil and a small service when it's ready. I'm going to get off the rear seat. Some people were talking about bobbering this thing. I don't know if it's a good idea.